Hello, everybody, and welcome to Oops, All Bards. I'm here today with Pat Gill and Simone de Rochefort and Susanna Polo, Polygon's entertainment editor. We are also joined by special guest Joey Batey, who you might recognize from Netflix's adaptation of The Witcher. In addition to being an actor, he's also a talented musician. Joey is a vocalist and a musician in the band The Amazing Devil, whose most recent album, Ruin, came out on Halloween 2021. I was listening to it immediately before this recording to get me hype. It was incredible, and I highly recommend y'all check it out. He's also a big fan of D&D, which is why we're all here today for Oops All Bards. Hello, welcome everybody.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Here we are in Heartbreak City. It's time once again for Heartbreak City's annual Battle of the Bands, a chance for small town nobodies to make it big. Winners get a contract with Gold Dust Records, and they're whisked away, never to return or be heard from again in Heartbeat City. But it's been a humiliating trial for our three bards. Every year you compete and are laughed at for your underwhelming topics of choice. Just really boring stuff. So, bards, I'm going to go around and ask you to tell us who you are and what the topic of your performance last year was. Let's do Pat first. Pat, who are you?
Hey there. I am a former sailor turned sort of beat poet, Sammy Splinters. And last year I was booed off the stage for my performance of Drunk in the Laundromat, A Sailor's Lament.
Pat, I cannot wait to demand that you perform beat poetry at a moment's notice for us.
It is so early.
The implication being that if it were like 2 o'clock, you'd be like ready to go.
I mean, that is the beat poetry hour. That's when my head becomes full of images of diners and stale coffee.
Incredible. Simone, why don't you go ahead and tell us who your bard is and why they did so bad at last year's Battle of the Bards?
Welcome. I am Blano, and at last year's Battle of the Bards, I sang a song promoting unity between the elves and the orcs and the humans. And I'm half elf, but the elves didn't take to it. They booed me off the stage. So that was a shame.
That is a shame. Your message of peace denied by the audience.
They didn't want to hear it.
Oh, man. Well, they're missing out. I'm certain we'll love to hear it at some point today. And Susanna, go ahead and tell us about your bard.
Yes, I'm playing a Kenku lady, which is a bird person who has been cursed to only speak by mimicking audio that she has heard before. So if you ask her what her name is, her beak cracks open and she just goes, "Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba." And she was booed off the stage for performing a medley of water gurgling through sewer pipes with lute accompaniment.
That sounds incredible, and I can't wait for you to give us a sample of that at some point during this. I do love that you're playing a bird whose bard powers is not to sing. It's a good combo. This year, the three of you have decided to prepare for the Battle of the Bards by going on an incredibly cool adventure, the stuff that legends are made of. But bards are a support class after all, so you have hired a mercenary to lead the way, a fighter by the name of Sue Cash. Joey, tell us who you are and why you joined this starry-eyed group of doofuses on this adventure.
Full disclosure, I have no idea what I'm doing. Sue Cash is a heavy-set woman who once was a soldier and is now hired to be their roadie and heavy on the tour. So I'm here to I think she'd be a wee bit Scottish, actually. Should we make her Scottish?
Ooh.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I think she's there to sort out all the terrible things that might get in the way of your gigs, but mostly she keeps to herself, smoking a wee pipe in the corner and maybe drinking one too many glasses of rosé.
The rosé was a
flavorful
twist.
detail, yeah.
I was expecting something
like,
dark and smoky, but rosé.
Oh no,
great.
she's a classy lady. Don't do her down.
The three of you bards have heard rumor of a perfect challenge, the stuff that legends are indeed made of. A young white dragon has taken up residence somewhere outside of town, likely planning some dastardly attack on Heartbeat City. If you could stop the dragon before it makes its move, you would be heroes for sure. The only problem is, while people have seen the white dragon flying over the city, it's not clear where the dragon is holed up. But you've heard, through your bard networks, that there is an elf who works as a seamstress for the local circus, who has been having visions about the dragon. Do you guys seek her out?
Sure.
I don't like
mean,
circuses.
Yes,
it's
we
not
will.
for me.
Deep in Heartbeat City's carnival district, past all the carnival games and sideshow acts, you find a little hut with an elven woman sitting out front. She has feathered blonde hair, and she's draped all over in scarves. She's hand sewing what looks like an acrobat's costume. And when you walk up to her, she startles and nicks herself with the needle. She says, "Oh, hello. How can I help you?"
I got this, guys. I got this. Madam, hello. I am Blano, and I hear that you have been having visions. Why don't you tell us what you see?
Oh, I keep my visions to myself. Why, I'm Fleetwood the elf. Pleased to meet all of you.
Fleetwood, listen here. I'm so tired already of this hangover that I'm nursing. So I want you to answer my friend's question, and if you don't do it now, let's just say that this cigarette's going to go somewhere you don't want it to go.
Oh, this is good. I'm just scrabbling all this stuff down in my little bard notebook. Cigarette, eyeball.
That was incredible. Do you want to give us an intimidate roll?
I would love to.
I don't know why I said it like that, but...
I've got my Indian agate dice.
Yes.
I know. That is a 15.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. So Fleetwood kind of, she lays the costume down in her lap, and she kind of leans back and looks you up and down and says, "Okay, I think you might be all right. Here's the thing. I don't know if I think you guys are strong enough to defeat this monster. So I think if I told you where it is, it would be sending you to your doom unless you could prove to me somehow that you're strong enough to defeat this dragon. Otherwise, this vision stays with me."
Madam, I will prove whatever you desire. Desire!
Just like you two, just like Bono does.
Yes!
I mean, you in the middle. You seem like you might be strong enough, but how are you going to prove it to me?
Which of my lovely compatriots
Is the smallest.
Ooh,
Good question.
I think that
My
would be the
instinct is
Kenku.
Bird woman?
Probably.
Kenku.
Got hollow bones.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to just start curling the Kenku as if I'm working out completely horizontally.
Yeah, she's got some pose. She does kind of this thing, you know.
With
She
like
leans into
more
it.
sugar hanging out my mouth. Is this enough for you?
Let's see, a strength roll.
Oh, bugger. Am I allowed to swear? I don't know.
Yes.
It's totally fine.
It's D&D, of course it is. That is a lowly 11. So as I lift this bird, I like to imagine that I haven't actually worked out for quite some time, and I'm just going, you see how easy it is?
Can I roll to help with my acrobatics?
Yeah, if any of you want to make some sort of bard buff powering roll or anything you
Jenna?
can do to help Sue.
I rolled
Yeah.
a natural 20.
Ooh, on your acrobatics. Okay.
Yes.
How are you applying your acrobatics to this?
It could be a subtle fluttering of the wingtips. Simple as
Right,
that. Yeah.
right.
Oh, I
Or like bracing
that.
myself on Sue in order to help create the illusion that I'm being easily lifted.
Perhaps you've even like scooped your wings onto my lovely bosoms, and I'm just using them to push you up.
Excellent. Well, Sue gives one like quivering lift, And then our dear sweet Caroline realizes this is not going well and provides a little additional support. And Fleetwood watches this at first like, and then, okay. And she sets aside her works and says, okay, I will tell you my vision. Here it is, to the north of the city. There's a tunnel that leads into a great bowl in the mountain. There, the young white dragon makes its lair, preparing to attack the city. If you can defeat it, well, that would be a pretty cool story, I bet.
The stuff that songs are made of, in fact, one could say.
I'm just Fleetwood the elf, I wouldn't know.
No.
Sweet Caroline goes, who am I to disagree?
Very good. Well, let's say, I don't know there, Sue, maybe you'd be interested in maybe walking a couple paces up to the north. Yeah.
I can't hear you down there, fella. What are you saying?
Maybe you wouldn't mind waltzing Matilda.
What's that? I
can't.
can't hear you. It's just, and I'd like to just pick him up to my house. What's that?
Oh, this is a very exciting and arousing experience for me, but I was wondering if you wouldn't mind walking up to the north with us.
Do I have to carry anything?
No, just those beautiful heavy bosoms.
Well, I think Sue's a little flushed for the first time in many a year. Nether regions are rushed with a little bit of ecstasy and excitement. In which case, you can lead the way, but first I will insist that I'm paid in wine at the end of this.
I got a feeling that once we take this mother down, the wine will be flowing freely. And,
I'm into that. And she's a little bit flirty and gives you a little wink.
Wow, romance.
And with all the confidence of half a bottle of rosé, I would like to set off to the north.
You berry band of adventurers depart the city and go northward, and there is indeed a large mountain that overlooks Heartbeat City, and you can see it. It just kind of looms over the city at all times, and there is, now that you know to look for it, there is indeed. There's lots of crags and nooks and crannies and nannies just like plugged into the side of this mountain. But you do see what looks to be a pretty clear entrance to somewhere deeper within the mountain. You also happen to see, standing just outside of it, are two pretty lackadaisical figures. One of them is a child with just a fluffy cloud of dark hair, wearing a vest over a very elaborately patterned shirt with a cravat. And to his side is a young man in purple robes, and you've never seen eyes as blue as his. The child looks up to you as you approach and says, "I'm a voodoo child. He's a magic man. If you want to continue, you must best us in a challenge."
Say no more. What is the challenge? We shall meet it.
Yeah, they exchange looks, and they're like, all right. And the voodoo child steps up first and says, "Why don't you show me your best transformation? And if you can beat my best transformation, we'll let you inside, assuming you can beat Magic Man's challenge as well." And as you watch closely, the voodoo child raises his hands towards the sun and wraps them together in these really weird, complicated shapes. And you can't really tell what his fingers are doing, but when you look past him onto the stone behind him, you see a perfect likeness of himself riding an eagle. It is a very impressive transformation. And he asks, well, what can you do?
Damn, that's cool.
Quick huddle.
That's so cool. I'm into it.
I've never done anything that interesting in my life.
You're about to.
I'm struck with severe imposter syndrome at this moment.
I do have prestidigitation, And I'm very quickly just reminding myself how that works.
In a paper book, even. I'm impressed that you're not even Googling it. You're
Blano
just
can
like,
read. Now, we can do one better because this little magic trick was simply visual. I can add scent and wind and feeling to it. Why don't one of you with maybe the biggest fingers do your little finger tricks? And I will add a sweet scent of sunshine and warmth to that.
Who you calling fat-fingered?
I didn't look at you. What? I was speaking to the group and I happened to look from you through the group. It was not a specific accusation.
I step up and I look around at the bards and go, I'll do it then with me fingers. Hocus pocus, squiggly wiggly. And then I would like to maintain eye contact with this purple dude the entire time. Just like really bearing down on him to see if he laughs at me, I'm going to clobber him with my maul.
Excellent. Okay, I guess I'm going to roll for him to see if he breaks. I'm going to say this is a constitution check to take your actions seriously. Oh, that's a shame. He did roll a 10, so I don't think that's going to be successful.
Oh.
Eyes up here.
I will cast prestidigitation on that to give it an odor. Yes, and again,
What a useful skill.
Shut up. Blano needs to keep smelling good out here, okay? I'm gonna go for the scent of a hot sun-baked field in the middle of summer. So hot, warm dirt and sunflowers and grasses on the verge of flame. That's what I'll do. It's good, isn't it?
I'd buy that scented candle, yeah.
Thank you.
It was a very evocative description. Well, the voodoo child and Wilson, they kind of, which is the name of the wizard, kind of tug around in their corner and they whisper to themselves and they turn back and they say, yeah, you know what? That was a pretty good transformation. I'll give it to you. But you still have to beat the Magic Man's challenge. Bum, bum, bum. The Magic Man steps up and he says, yeah, I got a puzzle for you.
A
blue dragon.
Puzzles.
Oh, yeah?
It's not for
You're going to
me.
like this one. The Magic Man says, a blue dragon demands an orchestra play him a ballad. If he likes it, he will spare them, and if not, he will kill all of them, the whole orchestra. The orchestra plays their best song, but in the end, the blue dragon was not satisfied. Yet when he attacked, only a single member of the orchestra was killed. Why is this?
I wasn't listening. There's a blue dragon now.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to make intelligence or wisdom rolls, I can give you hints.
Yes, Mama. I do. I'm gonna go for intelligence. Am I? Yes. Oh, yeah, it's still better. Okay. And I'm gonna actually, I have Jack of all trades, so I'm gonna add 1 to that, so 15.
Question mark?
Math is not my strong suit or Blano's.
You know, with your pure intelligence roll, that blue dragons control electricity.
I could have told you that. So here's what my thinking is the dragon came out and, flew around and there was an orchestra, and one of them survived, and that's why.
Was one of them...
Did one of them have a really tall instrument? like a lightning rod?
I'm having a vague recollection from like back in the sailing days where we'd get out there and there'd be a storm and they'd say, I'd be wearing my vest full of buttons and they'd say, God damn it, Sammy Splinters, get those metal buttons off the deck. And I never understood why. Is there connection, brass buttons?
What about the wee man who's got the wee stick at the front of the orchestra? Is he part of the orchestra or not?
I'm on about 3/4 of my way through of my bottle of rosé, by the way. This is going to get more and more nonsensical as we go on.
I have very high charisma, strangely. So I'm going to saunter over to the Magic Man, and my gambit here is going to be that I'm going to pretend I completely know what this is, and I'm just waiting for you guys to figure it out to see if he'll sort of let on for us. So I saunter over to him and I smell horribly of whiskey and cigarettes and diner sausage, and I say, this old chestnut, it works every time. I can't wait till they figure out that it's the, And then what do I roll for charisma here? 20?
Yeah.
That is a nat 20.
Oh. Beautiful.
So that's a natural 20 plus 3 plus 5.
Incredible. Okay, well, you've successfully convinced Wilson the Magic Man that you know what the answer is, and he'll lean over and be like, "Oh, yeah, they're so close. In fact, I think that tall one with the rosé basically got it, but unless they say the word, I really can't give it to them."
Well, does it look
magic.
like they're flirting over there in the corner? Because I think she'd get quite jealous and sort of stomp over, going, "You leave him alone. He's only got eyes for me, It's an eyes down fella."
Oh, listen, Sue,
back
this is
off.
just a friend. Don't you worry about it. I'm going to have to ask you to conduct yourself.
Absolutely. What?
And Wilson goes, "Oh, you did it, little man. You said it. Congratulations, you all got it."
Yeah,
We
got it.
certainly did.
Wait, everyone's so confused.
Obviously, only the conductor of the orchestra died because he drew the lightning attack from the blue dragon. And the
It's-
rest
That's
of the
what I
orchestra.
said all along, but you guys never listened to me.
You're one smart cookie, Wilson says, looking you up and down. You look pretty strong too.
You better believe it. I lifted a crow earlier. It was very impressive.
And your fingers smell like a sun-baked field. You've really got it all, lady.
They certainly do. Can you make this stop, please? I don't like my fingers smelling like this.
What would you like them to smell like, Sue? I can do anything.
Well, buy me a drink first, and then maybe we can have that conversation.
Hey,
I'm definitely going to try and have sex with all of these characters by the end of this quest.
it's a band thing, okay?
Listen, the most prolific roadie / groupie.
Well, before Wilson steps aside to let you into this cavern, he says, "In fact, you impressed me kind of an awful lot." And he pulls out from the pocket of his robes a potion of "Hit Me With Your Best Shot," which is, of course, a potion of True Strike, which I will say preemptively so we don't get comments about this. It explicitly does not exist in D&D. I did it for the pun, and I'm not sorry. But it will give you 1 charge of True Strike, which basically grants you an insight bonus on your target's defense and lets you get advantage on your first attack roll.
Great.
Is it an
Also-
action to drink it?
It will be an action to drink it, yes.
And can it be shared?
No, 1
Okay.
charge. No half charges in D&D.
And is it rosé flavored?
That's
It
what
actually
I-
weirdly is. Yeah, it's actually frozen, so it's actually frosé flavored.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, it's going to be very refreshing.
I would like to take this bottle, yank it over, and then turn to one of my beloveds and say, I don't. It's been a wee while since I've done this, but would you like to go for a wee drink when we're done after this? And I've got you a wee present as well, if you fancy. She's quite nervous and is kind of looking down at her shoes, her enormous feet. She's clearly been heartbroken too many times, this woman.
Oh, God, we must protect this woman. We'll always be the drinking buddies for you.
I was sort
Maybe
of hoping-
even more than buddies, Sue. But let's take care of this dragon first.
Absolutely.
And save the town, and then we'll be heroes. Who knows what'll happen then?
Oh, now what is this face, Simone? I'm sorry. What is this face?
I'm Blano.
You look like a meme.
Yeah, those are cursed
While we're
visage.
here, I would also like to cast Prestidigitation on the Froze spell to keep it chilled for up to an hour.
Nice.
Oh, incredible.
Lovely.
What service. Well, you enter this passageway, leaving Voodoo Child and Magic Man behind you, and it continues upwards through the mountain until you reach this wide open plain, just like a big, one might say, arena-style area. And the three of you walk in, and as soon as you do, you see coiled up on the other side this lithe young white dragon, very powerful. It's got ivory scales and emerald colored eyes and bright red spikes running down its back, and it hisses at you, and it sounds like rain pelting a rooftop, and you get the impression that you cannot compete against Jolene the White Dragon.
Oh, God.
And everybody go ahead and make perception checks for me.
That's a 6.
It's an 18.
I got a
Ooh,
13.
13.
Straight up 5.
5.
Got nothing.
All right.
I just
Well,
want to
Sue-
yell out and go, "There's a dragon!"
And Blano whips around and goes, "My God, you're right."
I'm just looking at some interesting bugs down on the dirt, just scratching notes in my notebook. I'm like,
Sweet Caroline goes, oh. And then it just cuts off.
Incredible. Well, while the three bards are mesmerized by Jolene, the young white dragon, Sue notices far in the back, in one of the shadowy nooks of this mountain, there appears to be a figure hidden sort of back out of the way.
Is a figure hidden back out of the way?
How are you
guys
seeing
deal
these
with-
things?
You guys with the dragon. I'm gonna go say a wee hello to you.
And she just sort of lobs an empty rosé bottle across the arena at this figure in the darkness.
Give me a strength check. I'm not going to say this is an attack. Just give me a strength check.
That is a 17.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So you hurl this empty rosé bottle, and it shatters dramatically against the mountainside. And you see, stepping into the light, you see a familiar face. It was the elven woman draped in scarves, Fleetwood. Only now she is sparkling, covered in some sort of golden dust. And you realize belatedly who she is. She is the woman who runs the Battle of the Bards every year. You didn't recognize her. She wasn't all done up in her gold. She steps out of the shadows and looks at you and says, I didn't expect you to notice me. You're quite an impressive figure, Sue.
Thank you.
Every year I come to this horrible little podunk town and run the Battle of the Bands, hoping to find the best warrior / frontman for my band. And I keep bringing in these charismatic dummies who can't take the hard, long travel of the road. They're soft and they're so smart and they're so charismatic, and you want to watch them all day long, but the moment they get onto the streets, they can't handle themselves. They get blisters and their soft hands get all torn up. I can't take it anymore. This year I decided that I would find the strongest, smartest, most charismatic warrior in all of the city, and that a Battle of the Bards just wouldn't do. And it's you, Sue. You have bested my challenges and proven, yes, you! You have proven to me that you have the true lead singer characteristics. Strengths, smarts, and bravery. Everything you need.
we're dating, you know.
Now, hang on a minute. Are you trying to poach our roadie and Splinter's girlfriend? This is new, guys.
I
you
mean,
should
listen,
tell me about this.
it just seems like your career is really taking off and going places, and
There's enough
I'm not
of
above
Sue to
riding
go
coattails.
around. Don't worry.
I just don't want there to be any problems in the band. You know, we've all got to work together every day and on the road. Sorry, lady. We need to discuss this.
Quiet,
Take your time,
Yoko.
take your time.
I'm not going to leave these fellas, though. They're my kin. They're my friends, and I don't want to leave them because, well, after leaving the army, following in the footsteps of my father and my father's father, and being a roadie for the greatest band of all time, I knew there would be challenges, but I wasn't really expecting an elf and a dragon. But I'm not leaving them, you see. I will never abandon my band.
Fleetwood says, "Join me or face the consequences." And you see Jolene sort of get to her feet and start to uncoil as if to prepare for battle.
Is that guys? There's a dragon there. I don't. Oh, we've already said that. You know what? Bring it on, guys. Get behind me. And I want to stand in front of all my wonderful bards, draw my maul, and look up at the dragon and say, "Yes, Rosie, better be worth it." And I would like to charge the dragon, and as best I can.
Excellent. Incredible. Worth noting that I did give your character great weapon master feat, where you can take a -5 to your melee attack to do extra big damage.
I think she's drunk. I think that's the sort of thing she'd do.
Excellent. Before you take your big hit, do any bards want to do you have any buffs? Does anybody want to do anything to support
Any
this action?
inspiring words, maybe?
Yeah. I'll do some bardic inspiration. Why not?
Yeah.
Is that an ability? Hang on. What? Tavern Brawler. Oh, I can do Vicious Mockery.
How is that helpful
buff,
to
though.
Sue right now?
Well, can I mock the dragon? That sounds like a debuff.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I can do with
You can
advantage.
absolutely do that.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
As Sue's charging in, should I launch this preliminary psychic attack on the dragon?
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Okay, so any target within 60 feet that can hear you must make a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw or take 1d4 psychic damage and have disadvantage on their next attack.
Young white dragons, probably because they're young, are just not very wise. So they did not. Jolene did not roll well. And what can you give us a sample of what your vicious mockery sounds like?
I don't even really target it at the dragon. I just sort of say it to the group because I think it'll hurt a little more. And I'm just like, oh, looks like this one fell down the old ugly Yggdrasil and hit every branch on the way down. Yeah. And that's all I got. And then I say, also, shoes are whack.
And
Is the dragon wearing shoes? Have I just...
Yeah,
Okay.
you didn't see him at first, but yeah, she's got little booties on.
And I will turn to Sue. As Sue is presumably charging, I will do my bardic inspiration. I'll say, Sue, I
Yeah.
usually consider myself the front man here, and I enjoy that position, but it's time to let women lead the way.
Yeah, all you hear is incoherent mumbling as the another whole bottle of rosé goes down as I'm charging.
She's incredible.
Excellent. And remind us what bardic inspiration does, please, Simone.
You are going to get 1 d6 inspiration dice on your attack, or whatever you want to use it on, I think.
What kind of bard are you?
Valor.
Okay, great, thank you.
I figured out something
Excellent.
I can do.
Ooh, excellent. All right.
Yes.
Lay it on us.
Sweet Caroline is going to say very quietly, I put a spell on you, because she's trying to do an illusion spell and doesn't actually want to ruin it. But then she has to say something to do the spell. So she's going to cast Phantasmal Force and create an illusory Sue, second Sue,
Ooh.
Shadow
that.
form
to
Sue.
distract the dragon. Yes. The dragon
And
gets to
also
make
Sue.
the dragon must make an intelligence saving throw, and on a failed save, it believes the illusion.
I'm going to make
I
the
love
same saving throw because I think Sue, after a bottle of wine or two, is very confused that she's running alongside a version of herself.
Excellent. Joey, what'd you get?
I got, I've got a minus in intelligence. I got a 9. Who's that?
Yeah, how does that play out? So you are seeing a double of yourself. How do you respond?
I think I just sort of raise an eyebrow and go, all right, I can make this work.
What a great attitude Sue has. Okay, noteworthy, the young white dragon, in addition to not being very charismatic or not very wise, is also very dumb and has a -2 intelligence, which means that the 4 I rolled becomes a 2. And so Jolene, the young white dragon, seeing these 2 pretty harrowing figures, each of them, one has a bottle in the left hand, the other has a bottle in the right hand. They are swinging and ready to go. And Jolene kind of coils up and then lashes out at the wrong Sue. It snaps its teeth around Sue!
No! I'm gonna try and I let out a huge scream as she's dead. I only knew her for a couple of seconds. I think she's distraught.
She was like a you to you.
Excellent. Well, the young white dragon, it lands this hit, but the specter of Sue just dissipates, and it turns to you, Joey. But it is your turn, so go ahead and give us an attack.
I'm gonna clobber it with my clobbering stick, and I rolled a nat 20.
Oh my god!
Ooh, yes.
Okay.
Good. All right, so I now get to roll 4d6 plus 3. 18 damage. 18
okay.
bludgeoning
Did you roll
damage.
Tell us what that looks like.
I think what actually happened was as I got to the dragon, I kind of missed my attack, slipped, and then went, oh no, and immediately bumped my head up right into its jaw. So I've essentially just kind of head-butted it. But with my mace kind of clobbering.
Incredible. Well, as soon as you land this powerful but albeit bumbling hit, the specter of this Jolene, the young white dragon, also dissipates. And Gold Dust Woman steps forwards and says, "You shattered my illusions. How dare you?" And she says, okay. I can see that you're perhaps more powerful as a group, and that maybe no one of you is the front man. Maybe you belong together and are more powerful as a unit.
Yeah, well, like ABBA.
I mean, I do sort of consider myself the front man, but I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Go on.
A Gold Dust Woman looks at you and says, "Who are you? Have you been here the whole time?"
I'm Blano.
Fleetwood, the sorcerer, capable of casting powerful illusions, kind of like folds her arms and looks all of you up and down and says, "Well, I think maybe just this once, I could accept all 4 of you as a band. What do you say? Wait, maybe before I do this, I should hear your sound. Come on in. Why don't you give me a performance? Which one of you plays guitar? Who's the bassist? Who's the drummer? Which one of you sings?"
I've been working on some percussion stuff. I hope you like the sound of iron mace banging against a dumpster.
Very creative, Sammy. Love the
avant-garde.
vision.
Yeah.
Oh wait, do we actually need to do a performance for you?
I would love to for everybody to roll some sort of charisma or performance roll, just so that we get an impression about what this band's gonna be like.
Oh God! What a
Oh yes!
Oh my God.
Oh, that's a nat 20. Holy shit!
I also got a natural 20. I don't know what's going on today.
I did not, but I rolled a 25.
Okay.
And I got a crit
Joey.
fail, which I'd like to play in a moment. So just as the band are getting ready, I get up and say, "We are what's the name of our band? We are the Ominous Silence, and we are here to kick ass and kill dragons and play music and stuff. 1, 2, 3." And then on the 4th beat, I slip unconscious onto the ground.
Okay, incredible. Wait, I am curious what all of the rest of your wild successes look like. So your lead Sue has passed out entirely unconscious, but how did the rest of you get 20s?
I'm fine.
I think Sweet Caroline lays down like a full synthesizer track. Just like from the beat. Yes.
Just single mouth open. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blano, you're up next.
Yeah, so this is a great opportunity. I will just step directly over Sue's prostrated body, taking my rightful place as the front man. And I am feeling it so much today, I'm shredding guitar like my old friend The Ledge, who unfortunately is...
He fell off a ledge. He's gone.
He fell off a ledge.
Yeah, that's why we called him The Ledge, yeah.
He spent all that time on that
Posthumous
ledge, and
nickname.
it finally caught up to him.
He loved it out there. What about you, Sammy?
Yeah, I'm probably just playing piano. I have one with
The
me.
bag of holding, just
Yeah, bag of holding. Take out a piano. I'm just sitting there, just
You can have
a
my
little bit
bagpipes,
drunk.
man. I've got bagpipes.
No, I'm not gonna touch those. And I'm just sort of like growling along in the background to whatever you're singing.
I am singing.
Jersey girl.
Well, inexplicably, like truly inexplicably, this combination of piano-based synthesizer with one lead singer and one prostrated kind of gargling backup singer.
Go, yeah. Occasionally I just roll over.
That I feel like actually does synergize well with Sammy Splinters. So it somehow works. It's sort of a almost a Pet Shop Boys style energy. I think is what you guys end up with all of those elements. So Fleetwood, the Gold Dust Woman, kind of allows this performance to wash over her. And at first she's like, ooh, but then she's like, ooh. And by the end of it, you guys have won her over. She's like, I can't believe this worked. I can't believe I don't have to do Battle of the Bards anymore. You've got a built-in roadie frontman. I think this is really going to work. I think it's time to sign contracts. And she'll pull out some contracts and hand them on over to you guys. And what was your band's name again? Joey, what did you say?
Silence, I think.
The Ominous Silence, apparently.
Excellent. Great work.
She scribbles in Ominous Silence.
It's in ink now. I guess it's permanent.
Yeah, that's just it for the rest of time. And she passes over the contracts with you.
Well, in all of my experience in the wide world of music, the one thing that I've learned is that you should just sign these things right away. I'm not even going to read it.
Yeah, you shouldn't. None of you should read it. You should just sign it right now. Your dreams are here. Are you just going to walk away from your dreams?
Unclear if any of us can read. I'll sign that bad boy.
Excellent. Actually, does Sweet Caroline and Sue, do you both sign as well?
Yeah, I think I don't have a signature. It's more, but it's just a sort of rosé-soaked handprint on the dotted line.
yeah. Yeah, Sweet Caroline opens her beak and it's just, is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
Incredible. Well, congratulations on winning the Battle of the Bards, such as it were. You all successfully signed contracts that you didn't read, and I'm sure that will have no effect on the rest of your future.
There's not going to be another one of these. We'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll know. We'll never know.
Well, Joey, you'll have to come back for The Witcher Season 3 press junket and do a sequel to Oops All Bards.
I would love
and we'll
that.
have to see. Yeah, it would be a delight.
Sue Cash is my spirit animal. She's my Patronus now.
All right, we're going to keep all of these character sheets on record. record, and then we'll be able to pull them out the next time for the next season of The Witcher. But in the meantime, anybody who's watching, you guys have got to check out Netflix's adaptation of The Witcher. Season 2, I'm just realizing I deleted the information that told
Friday,
me when
the
season 2 is released.
17th.
Season 2 will be released Friday, the 17th. That's really soon, and you guys have got to see Season 2. Joey, do you have any tease for what Season 2 involves that we should get excited for?
No.
That still made me excited. It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
You should also check out Joey's amazing band, The Amazing Devils. I shouldn't have said amazing to describe it. You should check out Joey's incredible band, The Amazing Devil. They just released an album called Ruin on Halloween 2021, which means it's still fresh and waiting, and it's incredibly atmospheric. So if you're doing like a spooky Christmas party, you've got a soundtrack all built and ready for you. Joey, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. That was so much fun. I think I really love Sue and I love these bards. I want to play again. What are you doing next week? Let's hang out.
Absolutely nothing.
We'll send out emails.